Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody. Hey Jordan.
Hi, Cody. How are you?
I'm doing good. You got your dunks, I see.
I do, always.
They're
Yeah,
Massachusetts Central. I
I
love it. I
do.
love it.
Alrighty. Well, I'm really excited for tonight.
I'm electric with excitement tonight because I am absolutely in love with the Intarsia machine. And I'm excited to share some of the love that I have for the Intarsia machine with it. Uh, quick little recap. I've been making jewelry forever and in around 60 started doing lapidary and inlay work and then forms of Intarsia on a cab machine. So I'd had a little bit of practice with the idea of Intarsia, but on a cab machine. Uh, and then about a year ago, I saw a cut in chat where they were showing the Intarsia machine, and it was just like a light hit me. Like, oh, this is what I've wanted for the last 20 years to do this kind of stonework. And I was running a small little jewelry business. I got a credit card for the price. It was a Black Friday. Got a credit card to cover the price of that. Got the machine on the credit card. Devoted myself. Made 7 pieces of Intarsia. Made 7 settings for it. And in about 2 months or so, I had paid back the credit card and bought the machine. So that's my experience, and then I just been hooked ever since. Intarsia, 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 just like Zeke.
I know the I word. It's like awesome. But no, Cody is like such a joy. Like he is always so happy and he is so ready to teach you guys tonight. So if you have questions, I'll be here to assist you guys. But
Okay.
Cody, you're gonna take us away, dude. Like you're gonna do the
All
thing.
right.
Okay.
Safety first. I love my jewelry, but we got to take all this off. So safety first.
Yes, and so you want to run them through to kind of the pieces that you have made because I was looking at them and I took a photo
Oh
of them
yeah.
because I was like, I have to brag to my friends that I get to work with a really cool person like this. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like I love
thank you
showing
so
off you and
much.
Zeke's work.
Well, this is an example of this is an example of a piece that I made with an Intarsia piece that I did on my cab machine. And if you really notice, you can see there's gaps and stuff in there, a lot of gaps, because it's really hard to get a perfectly flat surface to join to another perfectly flat surface using a round machine. It's hard. So now that was, like I said, a piece that I did on there. Here is another piece that I made that I haven't made a setting for. And I used some milliflori glass in the center. And then I used some noble serpentine, howlite, and then the blue goldstone for the sides and the edges and the backer. This is a personal favorite. I really enjoy this one. This one has Idaho sunset in the center, purple jade, jadeite, and then a piece of crazy lace on the back that was cut so it has the eyes more instead of the lacing. And then this piece actually, I got this piece of blue plume in a giveaway when I was a
Oh,
customer, and it just has that great little jersey pocket in there. And then I use a piece of chrysoprase on each there, and then a piece of purple jade, and then black onyx. And that's another favorite too.
that's stunning.
Oh, thank you so much. And these are all the pieces that before I moved out, I hadn't sold yet. I have a bunch of other pieces that I did finish in Intarsia, but they uh, they were eye catchers. I don't know how many people would be walking down at all the other booths and just cut across everybody and just like, oh, look at that. Is that stone? How did you do that? Is that glass? How did you do that? And it brings up questions, excitement, hype. I even had somebody come by and said, oh, you're the inlay guy. My friend told me I needed to come look at your stuff. And this is another piece made with all material from here. It's a bolo, some variegated tiger's eye, purple jade, and fruitcake jasper. Yeah, and that's all the only pieces I had of finished pieces I could show you for now.
Very nice.
Okay. So let me take a quick sip here because my mouth is drying out. But what I did earlier was I took and I set a timer and I brought down a big old barrel of the California collection and I gave myself 30 minutes to go through the top, I don't know, maybe like eighth or to a third of the barrel to make this piece tonight. So just to kind of give you an example, 30 minutes digging through the barrel. And what I did, I set up three buckets. I set up a centerpiece bucket, uh, edge coloring bucket, and then a bucket for ones that weren't going to work. So, and I took all those, cut some slices out of it, and this is the kind of the pieces that I came up with that would make a really great Intarsia piece, I think. And I'm really liking this for the center. I kind of like the Intarsia pieces to be kind of like a painting. So you want the center of the painting to really stand out. And then the edges are going to be a really nice frame that just make that center painting pop. So, and we'll show some, I lotted up some of the other pieces that I was going to use, and you'll see they all have like a really fun little section in it. And unless you want to make a really big piece of Intarsia too, you want a lot going on in a small area for the center because I'll be able to take just a small square off of this, and that's going to make a killer center to a piece of Intarsia. But when you're done, you're going to have a normal size cab. And you could also see this is actually maybe a little bit thicker than I wanted it to, but it's kind of like you see it, the brecciation and the malachite. I was afraid it might be a little crumbly. I gave it the brake test. This piece is good. And then I do apologize. I don't know what this piece is, but it was in the California collection. And you know, it has like this kind of purple to it. And I thought that'd be just the killer next layer to these colors. Then I'm not sure yet. I want to see how it's going, but I might incorporate this as a third color, this kind of blue. But it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge because you're going to you want like a pure color. So you're going to have to cut your strips out like this. So you can avoid, you don't want to cut across here because you don't want to have a strip and have like a bicolor right in the middle, unless you want to cut out four strips and have those evenly laid out, which is something you can do. But then the final layer is going to be some obsidian. So I did like on the 12 inch, I did 5 turns on the knob, and I cut two of these. I'm going to cut strips out of this to make the final border edge, and then a nice big wide piece to make for the backer. And this one you can
Very
see it's nice
nice.
and yeah, thank you so much. And you can see this is uncut yet, but this is the backer and this is the top. So you got a little over a quarter inch when these are together. So that's a nice thick slab to make a cab out of. So I'll probably even like thin it down some, but that's why you wanted to cut these pieces a little thinner too, because it gets the piece will get big really quick, quicker than you think it will if you're not careful. So you want to start small. So okay.
I agree. I can be a testament to that statement.
Would
It,
you like to?
it adds space so quick. I was like, oh, that's the perfect size. And then you add your first border and then you add your second one. You're like, oh my goodness. Like it is insane. Um,
Right.
before before Cody gets rolling too. At some points tonight, I have rated Zeke's stash of Intarsia
Ooh,
giblets and pieces that he's been wanting to cut up, and he has not gotten around to them. So you guys are gonna get some insane deals on Zeke's stash stuff. So I'm getting
fun.
that stuff
Okay.
ready right now. So when Cody's kind of between steps, we'll do some of those. So keep your eyes out because I'm gonna clear that shelf of everything. So this is like he had like I told him today was the last day to get it cleaned up. So you guys are gonna have some fun for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, let's go over the 6 inch. And another thing that I'm doing tonight too is being as I'm a jeweler, pretty much everything that I make is on the small side for cabs and for jewelry. So we're showing a 6 inch Intarsia machine. We're showing the 6 inch trim saw and the 6 inch cab machine.
Yes, Nancy, we do. And then
Now
team,
you
do you guys
kind
want to post those deals real quick? Go ahead, Cody.
you can see let me see this light. Nope. You can kind of see here with the pencil, if you can see that lines, I just kind of scribbled on just a quick off like a diamond in shape. So you can definitely spend a lot of, you can sit down and get the calipers and really make an intricate piece of Intarsia with all of these tools. But I don't want to like scare anybody away from doing this tonight. So I'm going to make a really pretty simple piece.
And then
And
that's a good
it's
question, Cody. Do you work only in silver?
um currently I've only been working in silver. In the past I've worked in gold, platinum, different metals for sure. Pretty much just like again, starting my own small business, I had to buy all the raw materials. So even silver got pretty expensive there this last year. So
Is this malachite or chrysocolla? It kind of looks like a mix of both.
I believe it's a mix of both. Yes.
Could possibly be from Arizona, but
What?
malachite is a really good stone. It's like the one of the most popular stones in Tarja work.
Yeah, it's a very fun. It's a fun color. It's that bright kind of green and it just pops out.
Alrighty, let's see. Yes, Rox, you can post those deals, and I'll read them off for you guys. So, how many of you do not have an Intarsia machine? Put it in the chat. Waiting for the 8 inch, couple of you guys. And then, all right, that's a lot of you guys. So put a yes in the chat if you are wanting an Intarsia machine and you're wanting to learn.
Oh, right. I love a seeing those guesses.
I love it. I love it. That's why, like Cody and Zeke teaching, it was awesome when we got Bill Boggs on. He is like the master of Intarsia. He is so sweet to stay up that late. It's funny, Mike. I was so scared of Intarsia too. And then Zeke was teaching me, and I was like after the first few go arounds on the laps, I was like, actually, it's not as scary as I thought. It's more so like I think of Intarsia as like a lot of just double checking your work and making sure you're kind of flat. But I actually think
That,
Intarsia is like one of the most creative routes you can go.
oh, absolutely. It involves like, stonework. It involves kind of color placement. And then also it's angles and like precision, which is always fun and stuff like this. And also, I always like pretty much everybody on here is creative. You love the rock world, you love pretty stones and working with it, and you're comfortable with what you are working with, and so you're good at sphering, you're good at cabbing, and you might be worried that getting into something like this is going to be a bigger learning curve, and it really isn't. This was my first piece of Intarsia, came out really good, which is, like I said, I had a real base knowledge doing basic Intarsia on a cab machine, and then this was very easy to pick up. So is that going to look okay? Can everybody see good on there? Okay, so here's where I'm at so far. I found a nice little centerpiece I think is going to look really cool in there. And then we have four different sides to it. And we have this pencil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and scribe down this whole face with a pencil. Okay, so you kind of see how that graphite's shiny right there. And like none here, and you can see the graphite. This is a super, super important step because this piece is going to be butted up against another piece that's going to be perfectly flat. And I'm taking and I'm scribing down this face with graphite because when I take it to the Intarsia machine and I push it against the 180 flat lap here and I pull it back, if I see any graphite on any of the corners, any like a saw mark, I know that it's not perfectly flat. So when I pull it away from the lap, I want all of this graphite to be gone. So you can kind of see there how that whole face is shiny. There's no color behind it. So we're going to turn on the water. There we go.
Oh,
Get,
Jeff, the doublets, Zeke did one. He did one with rutilated quartz and lapis, and I believe he did one with rutilated quartz and labradorite. And then Cody, while you're working on that lap real quick, I'm just gonna um read off these Intarsia deals for you guys. So let's see. The INT6, which is the 6-inch Intarsia machine that Cody's working on, and that was the machine that Cody had in his shop. If you get that tonight, we're gonna do 7% off of your laps and jigs for it. So the Intarsia machine already comes with a lap on it. It comes with, I believe, the 180. Yeah, it comes with a 180
yep.
grit lap on it. Bill recommends that you he recommends starting with a 260. So you can get that too. But
Put a little T. I like to do that too, just because at a certain point you're going to be having a bunch of little pieces kind of going together, and you don't want to have to like worry about what you thought chose the top was when you're trying to glue it together. So I'll put a little T on there. Okay. So we'll turn that off and we'll kind of go over the machine kind of real quick here. So this is the basic machine here, and the 6 inch is really nice and small. Uh, when I started doing the lapidary, my grandmother got me my first cab machine, and I was cutting and making cabs in my closet with a little jeweler's bench right next to my closet. And this would literally be perfect, like closet jewelry setup, this Intarsia machine. It's the perfect size for this. But you got your water bottle. When you get your water bottle, it's important you want to put a little breather hole in there. You could just use like a little thumbtack. Uh, you got your on-off switch. You have your drain out of the back, which drains through the bottom of the machine here. You have your water valve. You have your deck here, and you could change these plates to have different angles. Like this is the 90, and you can see so this bridge right here is at a 90-degree angle to this face. This is like the 66, 60 degree. This whole deck is completely adjustable. Uh, it goes this way, it goes this way, and then this way. So you can completely adjust everything. Uh, we send everything squared off, but if you think something's off, you could always set just like a speed square right against this deck and this deck, and then just double check it. But that's just kind of a quick rundown of the machine. Let me know if there was any questions on that. And then next, I'm going to go over and then make some slices out of this kind of like grayish purple stone, which is going
very
to be the
nice.
next. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I like that color. Super pretty.
Nice. So Cody's gonna take you guys over the 6-inch trim. Um, and slice up those things. Team Q, look at that for Ann, please. And then are the corners 90-degree angles on the centerpiece?
No, the centerpiece. Let me go grab it real quick. And I purposely didn't make them 90s just to make a little bit more of an attractive piece and to show you that you don't have to make it a 90, but you can see the bottom is
Thank
kind
you,
of
John.
like
That's
a
pretty neat.
abstract square, or like yeah, a little bit of a different shape. So yeah, you can have fun with the centerpiece because it's how would you describe it? It's like layer by layer. So your centerpiece could be basically whatever shape as long as it has flat faces and they come to an angle because the next layer is just going to glue onto that face and build off of that angle. So it is important to make sure that you like the very beginning angle you're starting with, though. If you don't like that, the whole piece is going to be that.
I believe Jeff for that one. I think Jeffrey Weimer, that's the plate that he had made. Um, let me let me message him real quick. So I will let you know. I just sent him a message.
And then when I'm cutting these, I'm keeping in mind that I'm actually going to be using them like this. So I only need them that, half of a cab, a couple 1/8 inch thick. Well, actually, you know what I'll do? I'll show you how thick I need it by using this. So this is the centerpiece, and these pieces are going to butt up against these edges. So I'm going to cut strips the thickness of this. Now,
Oh, Ed, you're funny. And then so there's a plate that Jeff Weimer, he's one of the guys in the live sale here. Him and John collabed on an idea, Jeff, for that Intarsia plate. Um, and the purpose was for him to take that and kind of carve out, like do shapes on the um trim saw. So let me see if I can find a skew. Team, you wouldn't happen to know that skew, would you?
What skill?
You know the Intarsia jig that Jeff and John collabed on?
For what size?
John made a 6 inch and an 8 inch. But I know Jeffrey doesn't have an Intarsia machine, so that he puts on his trim saw and does the shaping on there. Hold on, let me
uh,
find it.
oh, that's neat.
There's a video posted up.
That's a super good idea.
There hasn't been a 6 inch one yet. Okay. So there's just an 8 inch one. And then here I have the skew. Team, I'm putting it in the chat for you.
It was funny how many little strips that I made in anticipation for my Intarsia machine to arrive.
A lot. You were all stocked up and ready to go.
I was ready to go the second it landed. I tell you what.
They were looking into the RPM on the 6 inch. And then will the 90-degree plate fit onto a 6 inch trim saw to make the flat angles? Let me see.
I love the precision you can get out of this 6 inch trim saw.
Yeah, that ultra thin blade on there is killer.
It's like minimal waste, like cuts right where you want it. No chipping really. A nice blade. And then this little tip every now and then I'll kind of just set my finger a little bit past the diamond just to kind of help me get the cut started on this thinner stuff, just so the blade doesn't move on me. And once it started, I'll just kind of move my finger out of the way.
I'm gonna go grab some of Zeke's and Tarja pieces for you guys to look at too.
Ooh, fine.
The best part about like doing like once you do your first piece of Intarsia, you're
Hmm.
like, okay, what can I make next? You know what I
right?
mean?
You just start,
S-
yeah, you start seeing everything as you get Intarsia vision.
You do. You really do. It's like not a bad bug to have at all.
Right? Yeah.
Because like a
That's why,
rock, you're
like
like,
with a,
yeah, it's okay. Like you can use as a border now. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And that was another thing too. I have like, all these cool like little bits of rock, but they're like just a little too small to make a ring stone out of or something like that. Then I can make like a killer pendant stone with it, something big.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do a little chip on it. So let's we need have and just an example of like why I'm setting this one aside. If I need a piece, I could come back to it. But you see this chip right here on the top? By the time I ground that down, it would probably be too thin to use. So unless I need a piece of it, I'm just gonna set that one to the side. We're gonna shut this guy off. All right. So I cut
And then
extra.
I brought over the Intarsia pieces, Cody.
Ooh,
Um,
great.
they're on the table near yours. When you come back, we can show them the Intarsia box as well.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, of course. Oh, you're right there.
Very, very sneaky. This is some of Zeke's work.
I love that piece.
Yeah, I love this one. It looks like a little face in there. I always see like a little old man face or an owl face or
I was just
something.
gonna say an owl. That's a Laguna agate. Then the green is Vesuvianite, and then the purple is grape agate.
My personal favorite.
Oh, the Canadian River plume. That's that middle piece. That centerpiece is a piece out of John's cabbing select, actually.
What do you consider the top? Where's your top on this one? How do you want me to hold it?
Um, it doesn't matter. I do it all over. I have to take
Okay.
it back because it's so darn big. I have to get the scratches out because
Ooh,
it's so huge. But I like it. I want to do a belt buckle out of it. Cody.
yeah, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do some silversmithing. Oh, and here's an example of some of the kind of fun angles. So you have this angle, and then if you do like a little square at the top, you have a whole nother angle. So it doesn't even need to be four-sided per se. It could be octagon, like I had that one that I showed earlier. It could be multiple-sided with different angles, the centerpiece. And then here's something that I haven't done yet, but I'm looking forward to doing is a box. How neat is
Yeah,
that?
I love that material. That is some of that pink dendritic from Indonesia.
I mean, how great to like make a little piece of Intarsia and then make a box with the material that you made the Intarsia piece with.
Yep.
Okay, so we have these little bits here. Let me get the camera nice. And we are going to, same thing, we're going to, oh yeah, I see there's a chip right there. So I'm going to set that one aside for now. But yeah, I'm going to take with the pencil and scribe all the way down this face.
And do you kind of do like a thicker layer of pencil or like little? Because I never know like how much to pencil on there.
For sure, for sure. I do it thick and I want it to like rub into any low places. So I'm pushing down hard and rubbing it in thick and almost making a paste with the graphite so it kind of just gets anywhere because then it will expose like a chip or it expose like a saw nick that you'd have to keep grinding more. So I definitely kind of push harder to make sure I get a good layer on there.
Good. Do you guys have any questions so far? Cody has the Intarsia bug for sure, so he is like over the moon to talk about it.
Yeah, please just put me in a room. Let me talk about Intarsia. I'll be there all day.
It is cool kind of looking at pieces and you're like, oh, I want to do that with this. And like after I did my first one, I was like, okay, well, I have like five more pieces planned out and not enough time to like play with any of them. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, darn.
Oh yeah, I have a sketchbook full of like designs that I want to get to, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna address the two longer sides first. So if we're just gonna say like the way I have the T when the offset bottom is the bottom. So this is just we're gonna be looking at. So I'm gonna get the left side and the right side. And I take this piece of it, the kind of purple stone with the graphite on it there, turn the water on. And I'm going to come in flat with it.
That part is so important, what Cody just said about going flat to the lap. Because if you go and you're letting like your right side of it stick up first, you're gonna end up with like the slightest angle and your pencil is not gonna shave off evenly.
You can see right there, there's like a little low spot where the pencil didn't erase. So I'm going to go and cover it again. Pencil.
Yeah, I learned that the first few times. Well, I also, Cody, I don't know if you watched, I don't know if you watched my first Intarsia piece, but I sanded like each piece, like each side of the piece, like so many times. And Zeke was like, oh my goodness.
They're flat. They're flat. So as you can see there, all of the pencil's gone, all the graphite's gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over to the opposite side of what I just ground. I'm going to put a little X on there. So when I'm gluing,
You know,
I
that's flat.
I know that the opposite side of that is the flat side to glue. So we got that
Yep.
one done. And we take this next piece, like as you can see, it's all black with the pencil graphite, no color. Come into the flat lap here, nice and flat. Once you get
And
those flat,
then
oh, go ahead.
there's a question for you. It says, it seems that, sorry, lost it. The mouse isn't working. It seems that to be able to do Intarsia readily, one probably needs a slab saw to be able to cut your working pieces of equal thickness. Well, Cody, did you have a slab saw?
I did not. I had a 10-inch trim saw. I had a 10-inch trim saw, a 6-inch cab machine, a 6-inch Intarsia machine. Yeah, I had no slab saw myself.
How were you able to like were like getting your pieces like pretty even in thickness? Did that just come with years and years of practice on it?
Absolutely not. It comes with years of messing up stuff and finding the way of fixing it. So the way I did that is I would cut everything a little bit thicker, and then I would use the Intarsia machine to grind down the thinner pieces to the thickness I wanted. So yeah, that was just like a little trick that I had just because I didn't have perhaps like the rock skills of like a Zeke or a Bill Boggs, you know what I mean, to really get down on it. But yeah, that's what how I would get around it is I would just give myself a little bit more material when I cut these slices, and then I would give me more room to grind them down a little bit thinner, more fudge room.
And those of you, put a me in the chat if you have an Intarsia machine, and you've been making pieces with it. John has, Nancy has.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Did you guys kind of get the bug after doing your first piece?
All right, so on this too means we're going to be gluing stuff. Cleanliness is definitely key. We got some acetone. And some on like a little shop rag here. And like I said, I was gonna like we're making this the top, so I'm gonna do the left and right. So I'm gonna be cleaning the left side really good, kind of pressing it into it in case there's any oils from the slab saw or anything like that. Lightly rubbing it down. I'm gonna check it, make sure there's no like paper towel or anything left on it. I'm gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. And then after I glue these up, Jordan, while the glue's setting, I don't know if if you got something fun we could do for everybody.
Yeah, well, I was thinking we could go
Yeah?
through I was thinking we could go through some of these bins and high bit off Zeke's like trim saw goodie stash, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be super fun. That's going to be like for people who might be wanting to get into the Intarsia, these are the lots that I wish I had access to when I was getting started.
you guys want to do some high bid out of this stash? Because I told Zeke his cutoff was today to get it cleaned up. I I'm looking over here and there's a piece of copper chrysocolla. Cody volunteered the pieces that he cut, which I'm like, oh, that's a first. Not from you, Cody, but I'm saying here in general, myself included. There's some malachite and a bunch of stuff that Zeke has cut, and I think we're gonna take a look. So Cody, do you want to show them just the process for gluing while I go grab a spray bottle and an empty rack real quick?
Absolutely,
And I'll take
absolutely.
them away after.
Okay, so this is the glue that I personally like. It's the Gorilla Glue gel brush and nozzle. I usually never use the nozzle. I like the brush a lot. The brush kind of actually helps you save the glue because you're not pouring it out. You could kind of dab off the brush and because you're just gluing two small pieces of rock together, so you don't need a lot. So, and I'm going to be using the super glue for all the pieces tonight, but you can use like a two-part epoxy, like a 5-minute epoxy, or like a 220 or a 330 epoxy to glue the top intarsia piece to the bottom backer piece. But it's just we don't have the time to let it set overnight and still be able to show you. So we're getting a nice little layer of glue on there. We're taking the face that's flat, oop, and then we're just gonna push those two pieces together on wax paper. So otherwise, you'd be gluing it to your workbench, and that's never fun. You don't want to give yourself more work doing this, right?
That was the um thing that's the exact thing I did was make more work for myself because
You glue, okay.
I sanded all the pieces like however many times. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh no.
So no, it was fun. It was really fun. And you know me, like I'm a super perfectionist, so that's actually why I like Intarsia. I'm like I can get it like and redo it a bunch of times and like it's okay. And I
And
won't
you
waste
can't,
down to total nothingness.
right? It's like it's kind of hard to mess up an Intarsia piece because it is really kind of free form. You know what I mean? You could just kind of roll with the punches as you're making it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Hey.
some of these pieces. I'm like, Seekery.
Yeah. You should have done something.
There, I know, there is. I am Santa Claus. I'm Mrs. Claus tonight for you guys.
Okay. So, folks, here's where we're at right now. We have our centerpiece. We have the left and right pieces of stone super glued to the centerpiece. And you can see there's these overhangs and stuff like that, and it's not even along here. But after the glue set up, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how we deal with that and then how we attach the top and bottom. All right. You can see the piece here, and I'm just going to trim off the excess of pieces. at the bottom. And you see how this comes down at an angle? So you don't want to cut it square like this at that tip. You're going to want to come down a little, give yourself a little bit extra because it's going to be coming like this. So I'm actually going to not cut this piece super close to the centerpiece. I'm going to cut it down here a little bit.
Is Bill in here?
Yeah, he's here.
I just got
Hi,
here.
Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
Good. I just found out about this. I was busy today, and so anyway, glad to be here.
Very nice. You guys got a very awesome treat. Like you could not ask for anything better. I think we summoned Bill because he like popped in after I said
It's
his name.
amazing.
It
Yeah, it's
is.
amazing. This is the gentleman who taught the gentleman who taught me. I learned from Zeke.
A
Team, do you have
gentleman. Wow,
the
thank you.
team, do you have the link to Bill's Intarsia book that we can post in the chat?
Oh, that's a great book. I went and got it. I ordered myself a copy after you were on that live.
It's like so cool. It's like, ooh, celebrity in the house. He's here. But you guys,
Uh-huh.
they're gonna post the link to Bill's book in the chat. That is the Introduction to Stone and Tarja. He is so, so talented, and it's really cool to appreciate his work. So if you guys want a really cool book to add to the collection, that is the one to put on the shelf.
Before I get started, Bill, is there anything you'd like to talk about the machine or show about the machine, and I could act as the cameraman in your hands?
No, I don't think there's anything uh
Okay.
you may be aware that I posted a video of um how to use the machine. Well, not to make Intarsia with the machine. I'll kind of leave that up to you guys, but if you have a machine and you need to do some work on it or changing laps or a few other
Okay.
adjustments, yeah, there's a YouTube video out there. It has a fair amount of detail on care and feeding of the machine.
Okay. That's super important. Where would we find that under? Do you have your own YouTube page or is that under
Yeah, it's up there.
HPL's? Okay.
It, yeah, the I know some of the staff folks have all that information, but it's
Okay.
yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 Intarsia videos out there. Um, two of them on the machine, and then I think 2 or 3 of them on 3 of them on Intarsia itself.
Okay. Okay. So,
The
folks, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I was just going to say the channel is the old Rockhound. That's me.
Oh, I love that. The old rock hat. All right. I love that. Okay. So, what I've done here, I have my center piece. I've glued on my left piece and my right piece. And then I trimmed off the excess. And then we're getting the top and the bottom ready next. So I went and you can see here how dark it is. I took the graphite pencil and I scribed across the whole face. And I did it same on this side. You can see there it's all blacked out. And then we're going to turn on the water. We're going to turn on the machine.
Okay. The only thing I'd add to what you're doing
Yes, sir.
is uh, what you want to do is scribe the pencil marks on there after you have flattened those end pieces off.
Okay,
Uh,
so run it across here and then reapply the pencil mark and do it again.
that
So
way
it'd be better to, okay.
you'll be using the pencil marks to check the flatness of the entire piece and not just the center.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so like he was saying here, so we're going to check it. So we have this face now, which is our top. We're going to take our pencil mark, go all along this top face.
The other thing I might add is I
Yes, sir.
saw you were using the machine. It's better to use the left-hand side of the machine. If you think about it, uh, that's throwing all the debris down into the reservoir. If you do it on the
Oh,
right side, you'll be flipping it up in the air.
okay. Thank you so much for that. I didn't know that. Okay. Man, I'm getting like true honor tonight, getting a true lesson from you. I'm loving this. Okay,
I
so
know.
I have the graphite on there. I'm gonna use the left side on this time here. I'm gonna come in there flat. Do you do like little left to right movements? I find myself going left to right a little bit.
Yeah, I used to not do that, but yeah, I do anymore. Yes.
You okay, okay. So you can see there all the graphite's gone. So the top is ready. And then we're gonna
Yeah,
come in here
yeah.
onto the
Just as a uh, since I deal with a lot of students and you've already solved the I can see you've solved one of the largest problems. It looks like your seams are nice and tight, so that's indicative that you had really nice flat lines. Um,
yes, yeah.
so
Do you
I
do
lost
you have
I
a
lost I lost my train of thought.
well, do you have a simple way of describing why we want these sides so flat?
Well, it well, I can do it kind of in a negative fashion. If they're not
Okay.
flat, you'll end up with visible seams.
Okay. I actually have an example of that over here.
Yeah, we all have those, unfortunately.
You can see that green piece against the silver.
Yeah.
See that? Yeah, you see where the glue is.
Yeah, that just comes from experience.
Okay. So same thing here. I'm gonna bring the bottom up to the Intarsia machine.
And for those of you guys, I meant to mention this when Bill came on, but for those of you guys that don't know, Bill, do you want to delve into a little bit of where you teach and what other stuff you guys offer there?
Well, there's a shameless plug behind my head. Yeah, I teach at the William Hall School of Lapidary Arts. It's in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains in North Georgia. It's about 80 miles north of Atlanta, and
Okay.
it's a beautiful location, and the cost of going there is extremely reasonable. It's in fact there, there's no other school around where you can go and get the kind of instruction, not just in lapidary but also in metalsmithing and
Oh
a lot
wow.
many other items. But yeah, I've been teaching there for quite a while, but it's and they have a pretty good website. It's let me see, it's lapidary. I ought to know it by off the top of my head. It's let's see, lapidaryschool.org. Yeah.
Okay. Was that also the website that we found your book at?
No, no, the book is
Okay.
that's the publisher. Speaking of book,
Okay.
I've been corresponding with one of the folks on the staff. Is it pronounced Quinny?
Yep.
Trini,
Yeah.
yes.
Is it okay? Do you say Queenie or is it Queen?
Queenie, it's Queenie.
Okay. Well, anyway, I've been corresponding with her. We're planning on doing a revision of the book and adding several new items.
Oh,
We're
wow.
going to we're going to add some content that covers the HP machine.
Okay.
We're going to expand on the content of the old Alsasona Intarsia grinder, which there's still hundreds of those out there and people have them, but
Hmm.
there's very little information on them. And then we're also going to, I'm working with Kay Benham. She and her husband used to teach Intarsia using a fastening machine at the lapidary school. So we're
Oh,
going to
wow.
include a section on Intarsia using with a fastening machine. So
Okay.
that's um, that's in the works now. It's going to be a slow process, I think, but in any case, I'm working with the HP folks because they're going to assist in publishing it. Uh,
Okay.
the publisher that I have now is a publish on demand type thing, and it's served well over the years, but I think we can get a lot more exposure with what you folks have been suggesting that we do.
Yes, sir. That's great. Yeah. We want to share we want to share what we love. We all have in common here, the art of stonework. So do you, like I was saying earlier, I'm a jeweler, Bill. Where my expertise lie. Silversmith, jewelry, casting, stuff like that. So for me, the six
Cool.
inch is like perfect for being a silversmith. It's like for making like little cabs for jewelry is ideal.
Yeah.
Do you have like a size recommendation? Like if somebody wanted to do, I'd imagine more like display boxes, they probably want the 8. But for a jeweler, do you usually recommend a 6?
Um, I hadn't really thought about, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Totally
think
fair.
the decision on which to get sometimes just comes down to economics of it.
Yes,
Um,
it does. That was definitely part of my case. Like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I had to get a credit card to get mine and then pay the credit card back. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So the economics definitely play a factor. Okay, we'll let that glue set on that one for a little bit. Anything you'd like to add, Bill? Or anything you'd like me
no,
to like point out on the machine for the people?
no, I can't think of anything offhand. But
Okay.
if anybody's got any
Now,
questions, I'm willing to entertain anything that I might be able to contribute.
what is
Um,
the origin of this machine? Oh, I'm sorry, Jordan.
oh, no, you're good. It's Cody is using a gel super glue with the brush and nozzle for what he's using to attach his strips together. All right, go ahead. Sorry, guys. Thank you. You're welcome. And then Cody, what was your question? The origin of the machine?
Yeah, where did the actual origin of this machine came from? Because the first I had heard of an Intarsia machine was when came to a cut and chat here at HPL. I had never been a lapidary, like as a jeweler for years. I'd never had heard of an Intarsia machine.
Well, it's relatively new. People have been
Hmm.
doing Intarsia, but using flat laps for I don't know hundreds of years, if not thousands, some variation of a flat lap. But
Yeah.
it only been kind of recently. I say recently. I say within the last 30 years that I'm aware of that somebody decided to take that flat lap, rotate it 90 degrees, and put a shelf on it.
Yeah.
And a number of people did their own versions of it, but to my to my knowledge, the first person to come up with that idea was a fellow by the name of Richard Coors. This was back in the mid 1990s,
Wow.
and
Okay.
his machine looked an awful lot like this one here. Um, and then, but he only made just a few of them because he was doing it kind of as a labor of love.
Okay.
And but Al Sasona came along, and he was a master machinist as well as a lapidary, and he said that he decided that he could go ahead and come up with a version of the machine, which he did, and he actually patented it and sold hundreds and hundreds of them from the let's see late well the early 2000s up till about I think he died in 2018. Um,
Okay.
but then I'm not sure how John heard about the Intarsia grinder initially, but
Mhm.
he got interested in it. So I I began talking with him and Sherman, and I sent them my machines, and they took those two machines and kind of reverse engineered them
Okay.
and came up with this version here.
Okay. So you even teach beginners and everything. Do you have like a basic three rules of Intarsia or something like that?
Um, no, flat lines.
Okay. Flat lines. That's flat lines. Double check, right? Measure
Yeah.
twice. I could definitely contest to that. Like taking your time with making an Antarctica piece definitely reflects on the finished piece.
Well, I can say that watching you work and then seeing Jordan's work and then seeing Zeke's work, that you guys are very meticulous in that step, because every piece I've seen come out, the seams have been tight, absolutely no gaps that I can see.
Ah,
And
thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
And Bill, just so you know, Cody has joined the live events team 2 weeks ago, and he's
Yeah.
gonna be hosting our live events here. And he's actually started his Intarsia works after your first session with Zeke. So
oh,
Hmm.
okay, very good.
yeah.
Well, it's great to have a person with metalsmithing background.
Yeah, right. That's hopefully like we'll be able to expand into that, like a jewelry, metalsmithing kind of field to kind of all the fun stone cutters out here have something great to set all their nice stones in.
Right.
Yeah, you can tell he's super excited having you on board tonight to kind of like give a little bit of your time while he's working on the piece. So thank you so
I'm
much.
very honored. I'm very honored. Absolutely. I'm honored and also I feel the pressure, It's like I got the Picasso of Intarsia here watching me do it. So no pressure, no pressure.
And then Lizelle, I sent you a message. Hey Stuart, how's the trip going? Hi Mark. Yeah, I mean you got Bill like in the room and unmuted and like here to answer any questions. So if you guys have any burning and Tarja questions, like now would be the most fantastic time.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, Bill, you really inspired a lot of people from that cut and chat, you know what I mean? Like the
Well,
pieces that everyone's posting up, they're just flawless. I know you've been seeing a couple up on Facebook.
yes, it's been very impressive watching. That's I consider myself more of a teacher and a craftsman
Hmm.
than an artist, and it's very um, rewarding to be able to show someone the basics and then have somebody with probably with much better skills than myself that can run with it and it's just very well, like I say, it's rewarding.
Definitely, yeah. All right, so I've added on the top and the bottom, and then I did the pencil check and I tested it. And then if you notice here, there's this little gap, but I'm going to put another layer on it. So
Yeah,
that's only going to be visible from the bottom, which I'm going to be putting it back on. So
right,
it won't that won't be an issue.
right. Yep. Now, what I, in general, what I try at this point, what I try to do with a piece like that is just to make it easier to
Hmm.
visualize the entire piece as before I proceed to putting the next set of bands on, is
Hmm.
I will flatten that front,
Okay, the front. Okay.
and that will do a couple things. It gets rid of the anomalies and the different heights of the
Hmm.
border, but it also gets rid of the glue, and
Oh, okay.
and and that becomes important when you're trying to make a real fine border line, um, because if the having that excess glue on there can throw your eye off.
Yeah. No, I've never done that. I've ground it flat always at the at the end basically, but as soon as you said that, that just clicked in my head like, oh yeah, let's make it so much easier and for the next layer to see if it's ground down. So yeah, thank you for throwing that out there. That's something I never knew.
I only got one pink hat thanks to Ed, which was very sweet. Um, Bill, do you have a Highland Park hat?
Yes, I do. I
You
left it.
do?
Yeah, I left it in Florida, but I'm
Oh
getting ready to
no.
go down and pick it up.
All right, Lizzo, you want to get in touch and get Bill maybe a maroon hat if we have a maroon hat left?
Yep, I'll do it.
Get him, yeah, get him that, and I'll hook him up with a Rough
Yeah.
Rec Care package. So
No,
why don't we get that?
I I have one.
Oh, Bill, you need a new
Yes, so
color
do
for
I.
hopping on. It's
Oh,
on
oh,
us.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, now see with that flat, you can see things better. In fact, you can see that
Hmm.
you
You
might
see
have a
the error right here.
little gap there. But
Yep,
sometimes, yeah, yeah. Does it look like it goes all the way through? Yeah, kind of does.
kind of does. It's bigger at the bottom at least, so hopefully when it's actually done in the next layer, it should be hidden. But that's definitely like I was saying earlier, like the sign of doing a hurrier job.
Now let's hold it up right there. Now, if you were going to, as I'm looking at that joint uh, near the centerpiece,
Hmm.
as it gets closer to the centerpiece, it looks like it's nice and tight there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The gap only appears as you get towards the outside.
right. Okay.
So what I'm
I see what
saying
you're
is,
saying.
okay, what I'm seeing is on the front there. If you decided to make your border really thin,
Hmm.
you could get rid of that gap.
Right. If I just shave this down more, you were saying?
Yeah, so your border of the pink material would be maybe a quarter of the width of that.
Hmm.
And it's just a it's just a way of getting out of situations. Of course, the if you decided you wanted to have a wide border like that, then the only solution is to grind it off and put another one on. But
Right. Okay.
if you decided you wanted to come up with a different design, slightly different design, and just have a thin pink border, then you could grind that down and then make the other ones that same width, and you'd be fine.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Okay.
Just a little extra grinding work.
Okay. I appreciate that. I think that's what I'll do. Jordan, did you want to show some lots and I'll kind of work this down a little bit or
Yeah, that works.
yeah?
We can yeah, you guys want to go through some of Zeke's stash again? Because Cody's gonna glue up those edges again. And that's it. Just so you
Yeah.
guys know, that's 6 inch, the 6 inch Intarsia machine, the cab machine, and that Model 6, those are all in stock. Because I forgot to touch on that earlier. But let me grab the camera and we can go over some of Zeke's stuff again. Because there are some pieces in there from when Zeke and I did our Intarsia pieces.
Oh, fine.
Yes.
Sorry. I should have brought that over.
Alrighty. And then you guys are back to the Intarsia with Cody.
All right, folks. So here's where we're at with the centerpiece. Set the tripod down there. Focus. Here we go. And I took it down a little bit, kind of got rid of that gap a little bit. So it should look a little bit better in the finished piece. And then I've got our next two borders penciled up here. A piece of some snowflake obsidian, but I cut it just to use the black out of it. Oh,
Question here from Gary Solars about that gap on Cody's project. Would it be
yeah.
possible to take rock dust of the same type? Here, the purple, fill up the gap, and then apply super glue and later sand it, or is that too sloppy?
Um, Honestly, if I was going to do it, I would grind this piece off and I have more material left. I have another piece and I would restart again if this wasn't a live event and this was going to be, you know what I mean? This is more of a cut and chat. I'm trying to show you everybody how to use it. But if it was me in a finished piece, I'd probably, and I had the material, like Bill was saying, I would come in and either trim it with my trim saw close, or I would take it on the lap machine and grind that piece down and start anew to make it perfect because what most likely happened is this in piece has an uneven grind to it, or where was it? Let's see, yeah, and just like kind of Bill had said, taking that corner down really did take a good. Oh yeah, there it is. Really did take a lot of it out. So you can see it's kind of hard to see. So that's why I'm just going to kind of roll with it because it's not that bad. But if it was bad and this was going to be a finished piece of jewelry, I would take that whole section off. Because remember, these are all sections. You got like the center section, left section, right section, top, bottom. And you're just essentially, when you put on a section, you're grinding that section to meet the last section before the next section comes in. So I would just take off that section that was uneven and put a new section in.
Thank you. And okay, I was supposed
Oh,
to
yeah,
ask
good.
Mike. He responded there already in the chat. Thank you.
So,
Oh,
Lisa,
okay.
was Lisa, were you suggesting using powdered material to fill that gap?
That's kind of how I understood it. Kind of like, yeah, like a chip or a powder mixed with like an epoxy.
Yeah, that works if the gap is large enough, but for a um, if the gap is long and thin like that, it's difficult to get the powder down into that gap to make it worthwhile even trying to do.
And then Sharon, what are you looking to do? Like, are you gonna want to end up doing boxes? Um, or whatnot? Like, would you want just the regular Intarsia cabs? Um, okay, I can get you a price on that one.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then, for those of you that aren't familiar with what the Intarsia machine, totally entails, it comes standard with a 180 grit lap. Um, And if you guys are wanting to do, if you're like, man, I know I'm gonna want to do that further down the road, like doing boxes or whatnot, you're better off just to get the jig set, get it all in one go. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you're like, man, I want to try that out, you can do that. We're gonna do another box cut and chat. We'll get with Zeke to do that too. So I will get that and then I will figure out, let me see the prices on those laps because I have a list actually that Zeke suggested. So let me just get you a price on that then, Sharon, and I can send that to Lizelle.
Thanks, girl.
You're welcome. Um, hey Kyle, Sherman is not on at the moment. You got it, Camille. You're gonna want the same kind of setup as Sharon. Okay, let me get that for you guys. And then Cody, you are good to
Yeah.
roll with whatever part of the process you are on right now.
Okay. Okay. So you can see all the pencil marks gone on that one. Here's one that still I have to grind down. You can see the pencil marking on there. Now, Bill, the 180 is kind of good for a beginner because it's kind of like not too aggressive, but aggressive enough to where it still cuts. Or what do you think? Is that why you like the 180, or do you recommend other
Well,
people maybe get like the 260, 320 as well?
yeah, the 180 was what I settled in on because I do classes
Hmm.
and for beginners that's generally a good compromise. Um, it's
Okay.
it gets a and it works for just about anything. In fact, some of the finest Intarsia I've ever seen was by a fellow by the name of Rick Olmsted, and
Okay.
he did precision work, and he did everything on 100 grit lap. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
um, now I have said before that if I'm working with something that's problematic that will chip off easily, like charoite or
Hmm.
Larimar, I'll go down to a finer grit like a 260.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Or then also maybe if you're doing like I know I had a lot of success just getting like a piece of turquoise and putting like a silver strip in the center of the turquoise cab. So like if you're doing a lot of materials like a turquoise or something, maybe go with a finer grit.
It depends on the quality of the turquoise.
Okay.
Um, if it's stabilized, it doesn't matter. Um,
Okay, sure, sure. That makes sense.
if it's really, really good high grade natural, it probably doesn't matter either
Okay.
because it's got a lot of uh, quartz in it.
Okay.
So
So besides making cabs, what other fun stuff can people do with an Intarsia machine?
Yeah, Matthew, we can. Team, you want to mark that down, please?
make boxes.
Boxes. Yes, we had a box display over here. And that's when the jigs would probably come in handy, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do those work?
Well, they help you miter the corners.
Hmm.
You can make a box. In fact, Zeke made one without mitering the corners, I think, just by butting them up, and that works fine. But if you want to have yeah, like that. Um, if you well, let's see. Did he miter this? Let me see.
It
Yes,
looks
Cynthia,
like
I
you
did.
did.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a mitered one. Um, but if you can make a box, a very nice looking box, with just by butting the stones together.
Hmm.
It helps if you pick the stone patterns judiciously, but the mitered corners offers up a more refined look.
Okay. You had said something one of the times you were here. I don't remember which time, pardon me for that, but making an Intarsia bead. And I have been so interested in wanting to make an Intarsia bead. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, it's well, I I could do it better with pictures or
Okay.
but um,
I'm the same way. I feel yeah. I'm a more of a visual person.
well, like I say, I'm basically a teacher, so I mean I'm used to going up to the board and
Hmm.
see, I almost said going up to the chalkboard, but nobody knows what that is anymore. Uh,
It's the dry erase board or the
dry,
laptop now,
dry
right?
erase board, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, I saw Ed laugh at that one.
Oh, good, good. That's a win.
Um, but yeah, if you can visualize
Okay.
the concept of making a box by just butting if you had four square slabs
Hmm.
and you just butted the edges together to, can you visualize that and making a box out of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, visualize it okay, let me back up. You visualize making a box out of that with, so you have a large hole in the middle,
Okay.
the void inside the box. Well, if you start sliding those butted edges closer and closer to the center to make the void in the center smaller and smaller, you can get it down to a real fine point,
Hmm.
and that's essentially the making a bead.
So essentially you had your pieces, you would just keep, and then the other one down here until you got the small enough square with overlapping pieces.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you put
I like,
you can fabricate a like a ferrule to put in on the edges to dress up those the square hole.
ooh, fun. Essentially kind of like a metal eyelid on a shoe.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
And depending on the material you use, I've seen it done with people do it with copper. Of course, you could use sterling, but or brass,
Hmm.
um, but it's if if you can send me your email somehow, then I can forward an article that
Okay.
describes exactly how to do that.
Okay. Okay. I would love that.
And I mean I'd be glad to share it with everyone, but I'm not sure how to do that.
You can email it to
I'm right there
me.
with you.
You
Oh,
can
there we
email
Okay,
it
go.
to me.
I'll send it to Liesel.
Thank you.
Let me
Lozel's
write that.
awesome.
Let me write that down before I forget it.
And then Sharon and I believe it was Camille. So what I'm gonna do for you guys, the way that I would get it if I was just to get everything in one go. So I would do the um INT6. So you do the INT6, just get the full fixture set, get an extra 180 lap, a 260 lap, and a 325 lap. That total comes out to 1,367.56. And that's
Mhm.
with all your discounts off the laps and everything. And that'll get you started. The machine comes with a 180 grit on it already, but it's always good to have an extra of one of those because that's the lap that you're going to use the most. And those INT6s are, excuse me, in stock as well. Yep, it'll come with the bottle on it. So team, you want to put that for Sharon?
And remember, if you have a little flow problem with your bottle when you get it, you might need to puncture a little hole on the bottom of your bottle. Just use like a little thumbtack, and that's all I did with mine is use a little thumbtack and pushed it in, pulled it out. And I used the thumbtack to make a smaller hole, so I had more control with the valve, so I could go turn it way down or turn it way up. With that smaller hole, it gave me kind of more room to do that. So we're going to mark this edge here.
And if you make a bigger hole, about maybe I don't know, half inch in diameter, you can put a funnel in there, and then you can just fill the jug up without having to remove it.
That is a great tip right there because every time I would have to take the jug off, walk over to the sink, fill it. I love that tip. Thank you, Bill.
Well, we'll have to thank, well, she's not on here tonight, but Martha Graziano came up with that.
Thank you, Marcy, wherever you may be tonight. And you can see all the graphite's gone. And then I'm going to take these little nubs down. And then when the nubs are down, I'm going to mark it with the pencil and then check it for flatness. Okay. And I was able to actually there kind of feel those nubs get flat and hit this flat surface. This machine is just so easy to use. And you're just putting a layer on after a layer. And I tell you, like when I was selling my jewelry, the Intarsia stuff, I always made sure to have 4 or 5 pieces of jewelry with Intarsia pieces on there because they would be the literal crowd stopper. You know, somebody would be walking by and stop and what is that? Is that an acrylic painting? I've heard that so many times. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's a stone. No, there's no way that's a rock. And oh yeah. You see that service is ready? So that service and that service are both ready now. So I'm gonna get some more of the obsidian. And just so I'm not trying to flatten this really super long piece on this 6 inch, I'm gonna go get a kind of a rough idea of what I'm gonna need and take it over to the little trim saw and just cut off what I need. Be a little easier
Absolutely.
to deal with.
Yep. Now, did you figure that step out on your own?
Yes, sir, I did. The trial and error on that one.
Well, that's a mistake a lot of beginners make is they feel like they've got this long piece and they're going to use it for two borders, so they'll try to
Yep.
flatten the entire piece at once, and that can cause numerous problems. Plus, it takes a lot longer. So
Yes, yeah.
if you cut them down like you did there, and then they're much easier to flatten and
Yeah.
easier to handle too.
Yeah, but I try to keep my fingernails as much as possible making one of these. I tell you what usually happens, I get kind of lost in the ebb and flow of making the piece, and I get one of these knuckles right here against the lap.
Yep.
So I'm not alone. Good. Okay.
Thank you, Lizelle. Appreciate it. So, the deal that Lizelle just put in the chat for you guys is what I would recommend to get started with, because I know you should take advantage of the 7% off the laps if you're getting the machine. So you're gonna get the machine, the INT6, that comes with the 180 grit lap already installed on it. That's 1,030. The Intarsia 6 fixture set that comes with 7 pieces, that's 297. Another 180 grit lap, a 260 grit, and a 325 grit. Um, Normally that's $1,393. Tonight you're gonna get that for $1,356.70. Um,
Killer.
for you guys. And that will get you up and running and ready to rock and roll, quite literally. So you guys are going to have fun
Right?
right off the bat. And if you guys want that, just put it in the chat. The team will get that invoice for you. That is just for you guys, for the VIPs in the live sale room tonight. And if you guys have any questions, just reach out to Lizelle or Kimmy or any of those guys, and they'll help you out.
Now, Bill, I think I overheard you once. You look for, is it quilting designs sometimes for your inspiration for your ideas, or did I
Oh
hear
yeah,
that
that.
wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Is there any particular reason you find like the quilting designs good for Intarsia?
Um, well, it just it's just whatever you like. I mean,
Okay, fair.
I started out this. I'm a rock hound basically. So what I wanted, I when I discovered Intarsia, to me it was a way to just to showcase the patterns of the stone. So almost all of my
Ah,
Intarsia was had picture jasper or some kind of flashy chatoyant material in the center with a couple borders on it just to highlight the entire piece. But then
okay.
as I got into it more, I began exploring different patterns and stuff. But I still like to do what I call rockhound intarsia, which is focus on the natural beauty of the stone itself. Um,
Okay.
but getting back to quilt squares, they're fascinating and they're challenging.
Hmm.
They can be quite challenging depending on the complexity of the quilt pattern. But um,
I fell down a rabbit hole when I ordered my machine and I was waiting for it to go. And I started looking at all kinds of different designs. And then I started looking at three-dimensional mosaic tile designs, like how people would make a tile design look like it's falling into a hole or
oh
something
yeah,
like that. And I still on
yes,
my list to make a three-dimensional Intarsia piece. I'm dying to make one.
yeah, yeah. If you have a pattern, it's not real difficult.
No, it's just follow like color by numbers, but with stones, it's very simple. And that's kind of like like that's something I don't want people to be afraid to get into this Intarsia because it's the finished product looks super complicated, but making it is you're with your system and your machine. It's just it's the easiest thing. It's not complicated at all to make it a piece of Intarsia.
Absolutely.
Do you have anybody in the chat kind of interested, thinking about maybe wanting to get a machine tonight or feeling the Intarsia bug?
Cody and Zeke got hit quite hard, let me tell you.
Yes.
Like before you two even started working together, because Zeke would buzz around like a little bee, be like, Intarsia, Intarsia, Jordan, look what I'm working on. I'm like, oh, that's really cool, you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, Zeke, let's go to dinner, you know what I mean? And he's showing me what he's thinking about, and I'm like, all right. And then we'd get back and we'd hop on the live cell and Cody would be like, oh my goodness, I'm working on this Intarsia piece. I was like, you two are the same person, and I love it.
Oh man.
Well,
Yes, Jason.
I tell people it's a sickness.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it is. And I don't want the cure if there is one.
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna let this glue dry, and then I'm gonna take off these edges and then kind of get the face down and have something kind of a little nicer to show you when we get back. Jordan, if you wanted to show a couple lots.
Yeah, let's see, you guys. And then there was a question on the footprint of something, machine footprint and weight. Let me see.
The weight is a lot.
Yeah,
I'll grab a tape for the footprint.
thank you.
The,
I'm sure they were. I left them alone. I left the boys alone last night for boys' night. You guys haven't gotten that in a while, so. Cody and Zeke, they make a great pair. Like I work in the lab, so it's me, Cody, and Zeke in the lab here now, and it's just their giggles central, like all day. You hear ooh, 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 like from across the lab, and you look at the saws and they're just standing over there, like I love it, but it's very sweet to see. They are very compatible. I'm like, ooh, I love it.
You got it's 13 inches deep and it's 11 and a quarter wide, the 6 inch. The weight I'm not sure on.
well, I can
Uh,
tell you the 8-inch machine weighs approximately 50 pounds.
I was gonna
Okay.
say that machine is probably like 45.
If I had to guesstimate, I'd totally say that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lifting them to ship them, I can lift them pretty comfortably. So, and like 50, 55 is my cutoff for that. But that's how I guesstimate. Oh, Ed, you're sweet. I do love working with my sisters. But all right, here you go.
Thank you. So here's the smaller backer plate that I cut down,
Yeah,
and I
Sherry.
already pencil checked the back of this piece. So I'm gonna make sure that the backer plate now is flat. So we're gonna turn on the water, turn on our machine. Drop on there.
What you're doing is not faint of the heart.
Right, this piece, yeah, doing it a little bit bigger, the backer plate, yeah.
No, I mean that operation you're doing. That's 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 uh that's something that an experienced person might do, but getting that experience, you go through some heartache.
Yeah, well, please point out kind of anything that I'm not that I might be like leaving out for a beginner or something like that. If I'm missing something, please definitely like point it out for me. I definitely want to make sure that anybody who's interested in this like learns it the right way. That's I can't imagine. The worst thing I could do to Intarsia would be to teach somebody the wrong way to do it.
And the other thing is you've obviously burned up a couple fingers learning to do that too.
Oh, I burned up my fingers in my teens learning how to do all the lapidary and jewelry work. Yeah. I always would say I got like the jeweler hands where I could like, flip the bacon without tongs. And then that is something that I am doing too, is I am keeping cautious of when I'm taking the stone to the Intarsia machine. I'm not holding it with my nail or skin beneath the surface of the piece. I'm making sure I'm holding it like that, far back, so that my tips
But
of my fingers aren't near the the flat lap.
yeah, it's easier to use a piece of duct tape.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I would recommend to a beginner. And especially with that Gorilla Tape, that's something that I'll use whenever I have to like sand a small piece of silver flat for soldering it onto something. I always use that little piece of duct tape T. And if you use that Gorilla Tape, it holds up against kind of like even like water a little bit and all the friction. So yeah, it would be amazing how good you could do that. And I've even taken like when I did like a littler piece of Intarsia, like a little almost like a dab stick, super glued a piece on there just because I didn't want to like it was too small to hold. Just kind of use it as like a holder stick.
And then for you guys, we're gonna do tote out of this California collection where Cody pulled these pieces from
On.
because he just went up to one of the barrels and picked them and started slabbing them to do this piece. So we're gonna do tote out of that barrel tonight. I really like that shape, Cody. That's a shape like when I'm cutting when I cut the cabs, and that's
Yeah.
a shape that I normally lean toward.
Okay, yeah, this is a fun shape. Little piece of paper towel, take that off. Yeah, I usually tend to go towards the abstract shapes.
Me too.
That's why the JK team rocks.
Yep. I do have so much fun working with Cody. I'm very glad he came onto the team, and I can't wait to collab and get some belt buckles
Oh,
rolled out. Like I'm
yes.
about foaming at the mouth ready to do that.
It's belt buckles for you. It's some rings for Brian.
Oh yeah.
I already got the list of projects. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
You guys are gonna have some awesome cutting chats once those get um up and running.
Oh,
So
yeah. And then I kind of put the piece down and then I just gave it like a little wiggle back and forth just to make sure that the glue's going to go to all the edges. And I'm just kind of keeping even pressure, down pressure on it. Yeah, two-part epoxy would be ideal in this scenario. And if it wasn't, like I said, we're doing a little bit under a time restraint, so we're using the super glue on this part. But do you have a two-part epoxy that you recommend, Bill?
No, not really. Just
Okay,
I've tried pretty much everything. Even Harbor Freight even works. Make sure it's clear and
clear. Okay,
5 minute clear.
5 minute clear. Okay.
so Cody, is it not really necessary to use that quick set spray for the super glue?
No, not really. We're not using a lot of it. It's a quick super glue. And as you can see, like I pretty much kept pressure down. I kept constant pressure on the two pieces for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. And then that was it. Then I wouldn't probably get it wet or cut it for a good 5 or 10 minutes just because it is a bigger piece. So, you got to figure the edges are probably going to dry a little faster than the center. So we don't want to disrupt that. But by now everybody can kind of get the idea what we're doing.
Uh,
So yeah,
Cody, turn it 90 degree. Yeah, like that. Let's look at the edge. Now that's going to end up being a rather thick piece, right?
yes, yep, yep.
Now let me ask you something. As a jeweler trying to set something, wouldn't you rather have a something that was a lot slimmer and lighter than that?
Uh, ideally, if I was like the ideally you would for the majority of jewelers, you absolutely would want that. Uh, I'm at the point now with my jewelry where I could, like I do chunky stuff. So you can see like this piece is going to be about almost as thick as that one. So
Oh,
ideally, yes, if you're going to be buying a setting, if you're going to be making your basic setting, you probably would definitely want it thinner than this. And honestly, I wanted it thinner than this, but this is just like the curve of Intarsia. Everything ends up bigger than you wanted it to be.
okay. I kind of introduced that topic for a purpose. I mean, you could very easily uh, thin that down. You could thin the back down to about a third of the thickness easily, and
Hmm.
possibly even more. And you could, with that center stone being uniform all the way through, you could
Hmm.
even thin that down halfway, and you'd have a really thin, elegant looking piece. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still going to look really good, but it can end up looking, I'll say, elegant, if it
Hmm.
has real light, airy uh, thinness.
That is
Just
such a great point. Yeah. It,
something to think about.
and that is a great point too. If you're like looking to make your intarsia for jewelry or for like artwork to sell, the smaller, intricate, delicate it looks, the easier it sells because people are just instantly fascinated by how you did something so small, you know?
I love that blue.
And that blue fun, yeah.
What is it? What is the blue?
I'm not sure. I think it's some kind of chrysocolla malachite, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do you angle the edge bevel?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm sorry.
And then would you cut or grind those edges down?
I'm probably going to take it over to the trim saw and cut them down, cut down a good chunk of it. Just so, yeah, no need to like wear the wheels out. You know what I mean? But then after I cut down a good chunk, I'm even going to take it to the cab machine and probably use the 220 and then take it down to where the backer plate is flush with the black obsidian edges here.
And then eighth of an inch for the intarsia is what we do, Sharon.
Yeah, I could actually cut it right now.
So to stabilize fractures and pits and rocks would the 5-minute epoxy also be used? Cody, did you stabilize stuff when you were in your shop?
I have stabilized stuff. I've used cactus juice. I've used what is it, Star Bond. Um, Typically, like it depends on what you're trying to fill, like as far as the fracture wise. But I always like to the epoxy 330 is the clear. No, 330 is the browner color one. But I like that if you're going to be using in a setting that might get like a shock to it. It holds better up against shock. And then the 220 is the clear, but it's potentially if it you drop the piece or something and it doesn't have a proper setting, it could pop out because like shock will fracture the glue.
Man, Cody, you're making pretty good time on this piece.
Oh, thank you, Joey.
You're welcome.
I tell you what, I was paying my mortgage, feeding myself, my dogs, making my truck payment, everything with the jewelry. So time is money at a certain point. So yeah, you learn how to kind of do it fairly quicker. You don't, yeah. Plus, I am doing a rush job on this one just because if I was doing this for a piece of jewelry, I probably would have taken a little bit more time. There's a couple things that I could fix, but I just noticed like when I was walking over here, where was it? Like this top border is not it. It's hard to kind of tell right now, but it's not even. It's a little fatter on this side, but I can still fix that in the cab machine. But I would have probably taken a little bit more time if I was doing it in my shop and didn't have the pressure of Mr. Bill watching and all you lovely fans out there, all the lovely customers.
Yeah, you got
And
a
I'm gonna
host of people over your shoulders.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Cody, can you feel all
Like
the eyes or what?
I can. I got a host of people over my shoulder, and then I got a camera right between me and the cab machine, making it extra fun doing this.
Yep.
And then I'm using the 220 because it's obsidian and it kind of wants to fracture. So I'm not going to use the 80. Even the 80 would take it off a lot quicker, but it would also make a lot of chips in it. And then I'm probably going to take it over to the Intarsia machine to make these edges like real crisp. But I'm just getting a lot of this off on the cab machine because it'll be quicker.
Very nice. But yeah, you guys excited to dig through that California collection now? There's some cool
There's
stuff in
some
there when we were grading out.
right. There's some amazing stuff in there. I was tripping out.
Yeah, that stuff has some really awesome materials. The pieces out of the Katy Mountain are phenomenal. Oh, I also let me find them. I don't know where they went. Are they here? Haha. I have these two pieces that I found. That I'm gonna have to show you guys. So if you guys are interested in them, um, they're two pieces of char white that I will
Oh, they
show.
want to see it? Are they gonna need to steal the camera?
Yeah, whenever we'll let you keep rolling on the CAD machine so they can see more of that process. But I found two lone pieces of char white as I was cleaning up. So they came from one of Zeke's many little piles. Let's just say. That's awesome, Deborah. But that's like it for the char white is those two pieces. Yeah, it's not even like I'm reading it. It's like I walk by and I'm like, oh, what are all those little giblets? And Zeke was upset because the plaster bits from the core drill got thrown out. So
But
he was like, those are really good plaster giblets. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, we'll have to get you a bucket. That's clearly labeled Zeke. He's like a little
not my giblets.
like squirreling nuts away. So save for a later day.
Okay, so just on the cab machine, I took the backer plate, but you can see there's still like a gap there. I'm going to use the Intarsia machine to make it nice and square. And I've had pieces when you match up the backer and the side, it that blends together. And people have thought that I cut out the center of the stone and then put in pieces of the stone from the like I made a cup out of the stone and inlaid the pieces inside of that. They didn't realize that the edge pieces and the backer pieces were all different pieces. So now you can see I've taken the backer plate down to be flush with the edge pieces. And I'm going to take Bill's advice and I'm going to shave down the top and back a little bit to make it a little bit more of an elegant piece. I like that.
You guys having fun tonight?
I sure hope they are. Or at least I'm hoping people are able to pick up on how much enthusiasm I have for doing Intarsia. I do truly love it. Oh, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Your lights hooked up on there, just turn it on whenever you go back to the
Okay.
machine. The cut-in chats are seriously so much fun. They're really fun. I can imagine that they're really fun for you guys to watch, but it's so much fun for us to hop on here and really teach you guys and connect with all of you. And, you know, um, even if you don't learn something, on the off chance you don't learn something new from me, Cody, Zeke, Bill, and John, you guys learn something from each other, which is the best part of having a community like this, you know?
That's so true.
So we are very thankful for all of you guys. Oh, while we have 120 people, in the room. Our giveaway is on Saturday, so let's put our numbers in the chat while we have a minute here of how many people you think is going to be the maximum amount of people, the peak amount of people in the room on Saturday. So put your numbers in the
Mm,
chat.
it's always fun.
This is a fun game I like to do for you guys.
1360, I saw one. All right.
So the reason, a little backstory as to why I kind of made the decision that
Four,
we're
four,
going to do
four.
this is because for you guys, I really appreciate, hey Kim, when there is a giveaway night and all of you guys still show up and there's a bunch of stuff going on and it's crazy in there and it's difficult for me and Zeke to keep up with the chat of the technical questions and you guys are in there and you're all responding to people and helping people that are newer in the community. Like that brings me and Zeke so much happiness and joy to see you guys doing that for new people.
So
Because
beautiful.
it is a beautiful thing because me and Zeke and Cody now working under John and Sherman where they want to engage 1 million people in the lapidary arts. It's really propelled and moved forward by you guys. You know what I mean? Like seeing you
Hmm.
guys up on Facebook and I'm scrolling by and I'm going to comment on a photo of a mystery barrel and you guys already have it down. You know what I mean? And you guys are just really killer at jumping on the ball. And that's what we're all about here. So that is why we play that game. So if you guys want to put your guesses in the chat, you can keep throwing them. Um, you can throw them in there if you haven't yet. And let's see, what am I going to give away this time?
Are you gonna let them know, or are you gonna keep it a surprise?
I don't know. I don't know. How about, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on it. Gonna have to think on it. I have a couple ideas in mind for you guys. It is actually something in Zeke's stash that I'm thinking of, but I'm gonna get his permission before I do that to him.
You're too sweet.
It's something that I would be annoyed if he gave away on me, so um I'll give him the heads up.
I love it.
So Cody is super talented, giveaway Petunia. Oh my goodness. No, I value my job too much. I do like working. I actually love working here.
I was gonna say your life, maybe if you give away Petunia.
I know Tay would have me.
Uh-huh, right.
So, and I can't wait to get to the point where we're doing more cut and chats, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
these are the most informative thing. Like for me, I was gonna go to college and I really wanted to be a teacher because I love teaching people and I love helping people. I know he giggles, he's evil sometimes, so I have to get back at him. Um, but I wanted to go to school to be a teacher, and I'm very thankful that I get to do that through here, and I get to teach all different age ranges and all of that.
Isn't it great? Like it's for me, I was that weird little kid that was super into jewelry making. So like all the old timers are like, "Oh, that's interesting. This little kid's into jewelry making." So they all were super open with their knowledge and giving me stuff like that. And I always feel it's like such a blessing when I'm able to kind of pass on those lessons that I learned to other people. I love sharing it.
Alrighty, and then in the chat, Kimmy just posted a link. For those of you that are just popping in, you don't know that Bill Boggs is here. Bill is here. He is super talented at making these Intarsia pieces, and he teaches as well at the William Holland School of Lapidary Arts. So, welcome, Bill, again for like the 15th time. But we just love having you in here. You are very loved in this community. And the link in the chat that Kimmy put in there is to Bill's book. It is the Introduction to Stone and Tarsha. So if you're wanting to look at some banging pieces,
Yeah.
and all that in there, that is a link to go get that book. For those of you that have that book, how cool is it? because I think I need a copy for work and for my house.
Yeah, you need like the coffee table version.
I know. I need the copy for everywhere. It's like I need a chapstick everywhere I go, in my purse, in my car, home, this desk, that desk. So, um, that's awesome. They do go. So Bill's a really good dude. He helps us out a lot here and he stays up late for us and he missed the football game that one time so he could sit here and teach and that doesn't go unnoticed because I know how hard it is to miss some of those things. But we're very thankful for
Uh-huh.
you, Bill.
Thank
Well,
you, Bill.
tonight I'm going to beg off early because I want to go watch a WNBA game.
Good
All
for
right.
you.
Yeah. Enjoy. We thank you for your time as always. You're so generous.
Well, it's fun watching an experienced person work, and this
Oh, thank you.
that's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's coming out nice, right? I'm excited for this one.
I like the abstracts also because you don't have to measure anything.
Right. That's like a big, yeah, that's I should have mentioned that. That's part of the reason I also did the abstract. You get away with a little bit more.
Yes, Bill. Thank you so much for popping in. We
Thank you, Bill.
definitely appreciate all the collaboration you've done with John and Sherman to get the Intarsia machine usable for everyone who's learning to do it. And everyone in this room has learned so much from you. And you guys post up some more of your Intarsia photos because Bill is watching too. He's also like Santa Claus. Like he's watching all the time. You may not know it, but he is looking out. So thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, I appreciate everything y'all done, and we got a lot more ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
Yes, we do.
Very nice to meet you, Cody, and good luck
Nice
with
to meet you,
the
Bill.
new assignment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Is he not just the sweetest? Like
He
seriously.
really is. He really is.
So I'm trying to think. I've been thinking about it for a while. So, Lizelle, I'm gonna open it up to everyone else as well. I want to do some kind of like digital thank you card for Bill. So if you guys have made an Intarsia piece, maybe email it in and
Ooh.
we can do a digital thank you card for everybody and you can like you can put your name on the photo. Um because it's really awesome of Bill to kind of take his time to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So email that stuff to events at HP Lapidary Team. Let's talk about that after. Um, so, because Bill really loves looking, like he said, he doesn't see himself more as an artist. He sees himself more as a teacher. And I know we have a lot of teachers in the room, or if you're a mentor to anyone in any way, it's really great to see people that you've mentored and helped grow. It's awesome to see where they go. You know what I mean? So I'm sure Bill would
Hmm.
really appreciate that. So even if it's your first Intarsia piece or your 500th, I'm sure Bill would love to see it. So email it to events and we'll get him a digital thank you card sent over so
I
he can
love
see it.
that. Well deserved for a very sweet man.
Is there an advantage to shaving it down on the cab machine as opposed to the Intarsia or a flat lap, Cody?
Um, I came over and did some of the cutting down on the cab machine because it's quicker. These wheels last longer technically than the flat. So it's like if you have just a lot of excess material to remove, ideally you're going to use a saw. Next, you're going to use the cab machine, and then third, use the Intarsia. I try to with my machine, I try to just use the Intarsia machine and grinding disc only when I'm doing the Intarsia work, the borders, the boundaries. When I'm doing any kind of polishing, final shaping, I try to use my cab machine.
Yeah, we'll be doing another Intarsia contest. I don't know when team um if you guys actually Lizelle, I don't know if you talked about it with Zeke, but we can figure out when that is. Because that Intarsia competition that we did a bit ago was really, really awesome.
That was fun.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And if you guys are in here and you have fun learning on these events, we'd love if you guys could give us a 5-star review. I'm gonna get like me and Zeke read them after the live events, and Cody now gets to be a part of that too.
Yeah.
So it's so much fun. I have so much fun reading them. And yeah, like tonight, I don't know, nights like this make me really happy. Especially when we get a surprise visit from Bill. So if you guys
That
just
was super fun.
click on that, yeah, it was super fun. If you click on that link, we would greatly appreciate it. And the best part about that is you can update your review because I don't think Google lets you leave another review. So if you're like, oh man, I already left a review, there's no harm in updating it again. And being like, oh, because the first time you left a review, it might have been like, oh, I learned how to make my first cab, and you can be like, update, I made my first Intarsium piece, which is really
Whoa.
cool. So. Um, all that is also really fun. So we do appreciate you guys so much.
Did I spark anybody's interest in the Antarctica at least tonight? That was my main. So my main goal tonight was to get one person thinking like, I could do that. I think I want to get into that. I like that.
Cody, you were like that for a while. You know, you're
That
like,
was me. Yeah,
you were Cody was in that position. I don't know if you guys it wasn't that long ago that Cody bought an Intarsia machine.
yeah.
And he was like, I'm not sure about it, but I'm just gonna try it.
I
And
did. Yeah.
it doubles as a flat lap as well,
Yep. Yep.
which technically I'm not supposed to do, but I'm having too much fun tonight going through Zeke's
This is
stash
fun.
and watching Cody making Tarsha. That's awesome, Sharon. I am. I do realize what I'm like, oh, it is fun to kind of live on the wild side like Zeke sometimes. So I got to be careful because I'm meeting with Lozelle after this, but I'll still be
You want
riding
to
the
just
highs.
you just want to visit. You don't want to live there.
Yes. Your book is on the way. That's awesome. Bill is such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Lizelle is so sweet. I'm so glad to get to work with her. And now I get to work with her. Um, I get to talk to Lizelle more, which I'm so happy about because she definitely helps keep the live events team together. Lizelle, you changed positions. She's not in her chair.
Yeah. So 30 minutes digging in the California collection to find the pieces. And I'd say with the talking and everything, maybe 2 hours. And you can say, oh, a little dirty still, but I just saw a couple little scratches. I could go back and really do a killer polish on it. But that's an Intarsia piece. 2 hours, 30 minutes looking through the barrel. We used all the machines that are in the deals tonight. And this is really pretty. And I was just thinking as I was polishing and Bill mentioned how like thick it is. I think what I would do is I would drill it through here on the sides and then run a cord through it and hang it like this, like a really abstract kind of a shape as a pendant. Or maybe actually put that as the bottom, put this at the top, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd hang out like that.
Right. Yeah.
That is very sweet, Cody. And then you
Yay!
might want to turn the your light on your tripod.
Oh, yes, I do.
That might
Thank you.
help. You're welcome. That might help you. And then
Let's see, adjustment here.
we'll get a good video after and we'll post it to the Facebook Rough Rock group. Actually, team, you want to post those links up in the chat for people, please?
Got you,
Perfect. And then if you
Jordan.
bring it, thank you, Marv. Appreciate it.
There we go.
That is phenomenal, Cody. Like so banging. I love it.
Oh yeah, I love that centerpiece too. That's the key, and it's just like I said, it's so simple. It's the finished piece looks super complicated and hard, but actually making it is so simple. It's I don't want to say you can't mess up because I'm the kind of person who's found every way to mess everything up. You know what I mean? So there is a way of messing it up. I just haven't found it yet, but it is just so simple. It is honestly so simple to make a piece of Intarsia. And like I said, 30 minutes looking for the material through through one of the barrels, about 2 hours. And that was 2 hours, talking to y'all, talking to Bill, other stuff. So this would have probably been an hour if I was just by myself in the shop.
And
So
then they have some questions. Hey, Leslie, for you, Cody.
yeah.
Can you show them where to drill it? So, when you're showing them where to drill it, offer details on how you would drill it side to side or through the top and
Okay.
all that.
Well, ideally, if I knew I was going to drill this and turn it into like a bead, I would have drilled it before I put all this work into it. Because now that I put all this work into it, it's guaranteed that it's going to crack if I try to drill it. You know what I mean? So what I would have probably done is I would have put all the pieces together before I bothered, you know what I mean, polishing it and getting the final shape. I would have, when it was still really rough, but all the pieces were glued together, I would have taken right about, let's see, I want something thinner. So let's just say that this is the cord that would be going through it, a little bit thicker that I would use, but I would be drilling it about through here. And you don't want to drill it too close to this tip because you won't have much meat on the side and this tip is going to want to break off. And then I would drill it, I would find the absolute center of the piece and I would drill it at about this level through here at a straight line.
That
So I
is
would
in the
hold it.
works.
Yes. Yes, that's there's definitely some fun stuff in the works to be teaching how to drill holes with some machines, with some flex shafts. So stay tuned. I do put it on. I put it on my list of stuff to do because I want to try to angle it towards jewelry, but making some cab beads. So basically taking a piece that you like, drilling a hole in it, then we're going to make a cab out of it, and then you could hang it from a piece of leather or something like that from there. So definitely stay tuned. Hole drilling is coming.
Let's see. Thanks, Lawrence. And then how about putting a bail on the back?
Yeah, this is actually, this is you could make like a small bolo with it. You could, if you were to, like I said, it's kind of rough, but if let's just pretend this was a perfect polish, you could always take like whatever you want to glue onto the back, set it there, mark it off, and then if you have like a flex shaft or something like that, you could rough up where you're going to glue it. And if you don't have that, you could always take it back to your flat lap or to your charger machine or your cab machine. You could rough up the back of the piece. So now, because you're going to want some bite, you don't want to glue to a smooth surface like this. So you want a little bit of a bite. So you could kind of rough this up a little bit, and then you could get whatever piece of accessory or finding that you want and glue it onto the back of this. And being this is like a hard stone to a metal, I'd recommend probably the epoxy 330. And that's just a personal recommendation. You know what I mean? I'd have to actually get with John. I'd be more curious what he recommends.
Very nice. All right. Well, oh, and then there was a question, excuse me, on cabbing with different hardnesses. Cody, do you notice a difference? Because I personally, when I was doing the Intarsia, I didn't notice a difference in
I didn't
cabbing with the
either.
different.
And I was talking to Zeke with it. He was like, I haven't really noticed a difference. So I purposely picked malachite, and this is a hard agate. I picked the center is a much softer than the two outsides. I did that on purpose, and there is no difference. It ground flat, it polished even. And I had a piece that I was doing, and I used like some marble, but I got the marble from a cutting board, so I think maybe it wasn't actual marble. But when I was polishing that, it undercut with the polish. But it could have been the polish I was using too. I think I was using an aluminum oxide, and the marble kind of undercut next to the jades.
Very nice. All right. Wow. That's a killer island agate.
Is
That's an
that the one?
insane one. Zeke must have cut that, I'm assuming.
That was the one we cut last night. Yep.
Awesome. Here, you want to throw that one in the quick sword?
Yep.
That way I don't risk anything happening to it.
I dig it.
Alrighty, so this one we chose. So we're gonna go through, if you guys are just popping in, we are gonna go through cutting agates because I haven't done it much. So we're gonna go through, and I picked agates that I haven't really cut or that I like. Um So we're gonna have fun with that. So this one has the peeler skin. So you see here, that's kind of the normal skin, what we're looking at right here for an island agate. And then you come over here and it's where the skin has peeled off, kind of like a potato. So what we're gonna do on this one is evaluate where to cut it. So let's see. I'm thinking I just want to cut it because I think there could be a fracture running right here. So I think I'm gonna cut right to the right of that fracture. So I'm just going to take you guys over here and I'll angle you down so you can kind of see where we're cutting. And so whenever you're clamping something in a saw, you want to make sure you have 3 points of contact. So here I have my 2 points right here, and then my third point is here.
Okay.
So we are just going to hold it, and I always find my flat face first where it's not going to move. And so I'm tightening this down. And I'm going to do a test. So when you pull up,
So
you see I moved that agate. So it was going to slip when we started. Go ahead, Cody.
so when you're talking about a flat face, you're talking about the 2 points of contact on the 3 points.
Yes, exactly. Two out
Okay.
of the three.
Okay. Okay.
Think of it, I always relate it back to, I know we joke about how we always relate it back to food, but think of an ice cream cone. Which side of the ice cream cone is it going to balance better on?
I'm listening.
You know what I mean? So I kind of think of it
Yeah.
like that. So I think like I have my 2 points over here on my bigger face and then my smaller point down here where I'm going to clamp, if that makes sense. It's the same thing. We use the ice cream cone analogy when you're cutting island agates that have quartz windows on them. So
Okay.
if one side of your island agate has a massive quartz face, you're going to want to flip it around to the completely opposite end. And most times you're going to eliminate that quartz because it tapers off like a cone or a funnel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense to everybody? I have weird ways of explaining things because in my head they make sense, but some people may be like, what is this chick talking about? Um, definitely the ice cream jack.
Yeah, that's a tragedy.
So I really like all the dimples on this skin, like all the little holes. Could be an indication of tubes, you don't know. But so this technically doesn't count as a window. This is the weathered
Okay.
skin on an agate. So when you have a fresh break, that is considered a window. So I really like what I'm seeing here because I'm thinking that those could be tubes. So I'm thinking what I want to do is cut straight through here to give us the most
Okay.
symmetrical face. So,
And it looks like you're also getting the biggest face too cutting through there.
yep. So you
Okay.
mainly look like if there's no indicators of like um, fractures or windows, then you'd cut for kind of the most symmetrical face.
Okay.
Um, in agates, there is like I understand what Zeke says now. I used to give him crap, but I do understand what Zeke says when there is a bottom to the agate when you're looking
Okay.
at it. You know what I mean? So we can look at example pieces maybe Monday. Let's do that. This is the Model 12 SS, which we actually have in stock right now for the first time in like ever.
Right.
So,
This thing's a beast.
team, you want to get the price on that Model 12 SS? Maybe I'll cook up a deal if someone wants one of these.
Leslie, is that your saw, the 12SS?
I think Leslie is probably just setting up that saw if he hasn't already.
Ooh, all right.
Alrighty, so this is a
Brad,
waterline.
Brad's
Yep, go
asking, how
ahead.
do you adjust the lid?
What do you mean adjust the lid,
Yeah.
Brad? Like, are you looking to get the bigger hood? Hmm. So for this one, you see you have a fortification sitting on top of your water line, so you're gonna want to cut parallel to this face to still get that. Um,
Uh,
yours is not sitting flush. Team, why don't you take note of that for Brad? Let's get in touch with Zeke and John for that one, please, so we can get that squared away. Um, so Brad, they'll reach out to John for you.
Thank you,
So for
Brad.
this one, you're welcome, Brad, anytime. What I'm seeing is I'm thinking I want to cut through the thicker part of this agate. So I'm going to want to clamp it like this and want to just come, I'm going to want to come right here.
Now, are the water lines a sign of the bottom of the rock or
Yes.
the
So
top?
whenever,
Okay, okay.
so if you're looking at an agate with water lines, for the most part, it has a really flat bottom. So this sits actually relatively flat naturally with the water lines because that's how it formed.
Okay.
So the water lines, if you have that in an agate, that's always how it's going to sit, is on those.
Is it kind of safe to bet that most agates are going to be kind of in the shape of a bubble with like a flatter bottom and a kind of rounder top, just naturally formed?
Not all the time, not all the time.
Okay, okay,
Like something that doesn't fit that description for me is like the Chinese agates.
okay, okay.
So why I say that is the Chinese agates are naturally super round. Um,
Wow, okay.
so super round and like the best way to cut them is like it's your best guess, you know what I mean? So for stuff like that.
Oh, and Brazil. Oh, or Gary, are you saying the Brazilians are the flat bottom ones, or they're okay? Thank you, Gary. El Secos. I love that name.
The Suecos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun agate too. Alrighty. Just getting this clamped up. See, and that's what I'm talking about. Like you guys have an awesome community. Um, they're very sweet. You guys are awesome. See what I'm doing here.
Guys rock. Yeah. Get it,
Cody,
rock.
is it?
Eh,
Oh my gosh. Cody, is it weird to be on this side of the camera? Are you like getting used to it now or?
it's feeling a little bit more normal now. Yeah, it's still a little unreal, but definitely slowly becoming the normal.
Yeah. So then while these agates are cutting, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go high bid off Zeke's stash and we are gonna come back to these and we can do tote out of them after. That's a good question on the yield of an El Sueco. I will have to ask. Again, this was like just a funky skin one. I liked how tight the banding got on there.
Yeah, yeah.
So same on that face. I'm more inclined to cut on this side of the agate.
Which side? I missed it.
On this, sorry, I'm not in frame. This
Oh,
side
okay,
right here.
okay.
I
Okay.
want to avoid this fracture that's running here where my blue finger is.
Ah,
So I'm probably going to cut right here, the right of that.
okay.
And this is just stuff that I've heard in passing from Zeke and John on watching them evaluate agates. So
You're like a sponge, Jordan. And your ability to learn is amazing, honestly.
thank,
From somebody almost in their 50s, I commend that in you. Yeah.
thank you. I I love to learn. You know, what I mean, I've always loved to learn. So
Yes.
anytime I can, um, and the rock just slipped, so I'll fix that one. You want to try reclamping that one, Cody? Actually,
You got it.
so it's hard. So you're just gonna want to take that
All
one.
right there.
Did it
Yeah, I
already
already
start to
touched
cut or
that
no?
now. A little bit, yeah. I'll
We're
try
gonna
to best I can.
just go like next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe try the smaller end like that.
yeah, that's fine. We're gonna figure. We're that's the perk of this is we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
So the both of us we're gonna figure it out and trial and error, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? If after you cut an agate wrong, you're like, oh well, you know, it's like good information for next time.
Yes, exactly. And I commend you for not asking what all that absorbent is doing over there in the corner.
Yeah,
I learned you do not stick the Everclean lids on the ground because it siphons the oil out of the machine at a very
yeah,
quick rate.
it does.
Personal experience.
I just assumed something happened and someone had a morning. So
Yeah, I had a morning.
this skin is just so cool. Like, is that not one of the coolest looking skins on an island agate? With how smooth it is, it almost looks painted on there. You know what I mean? So I'm not wanting necessarily to cut through right here because there's kind of a
Mhm.
divot in the agate. You know what I mean? And to me, it looks like it would sit like this. So I'm
Okay.
tempted to take it and cut it here through the thick part of that agate. So cut it
It,
there.
so is that something you've heard in passing? You try to cut it the way it naturally grew to show that
Sometimes,
face?
sometimes it depends on a lot of things. Thanks, Cynthia.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that would be a good one for skin polish. Like pancaking it. So I'm thinking that you're gonna get tighter banding this way.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm more inclined to take it and cut it open kind of at that angle. That one dropped. So we're gonna we're gonna try it.
Yes, that one dropped. I just realized that people at home can't see me nodding my head.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Oh,
my
Cody,
bad, folks. Sorry.
you're so funny. It's something you don't think of, you know what I mean? Like
Right?
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
they can't see me. I do it all the time and then I'm like, oh crap, I meant to respond to that one
Oh
out
yeah.
loud.
Yeah, it's definitely you can't respond to the questions with a nod, right?
Yep. Alrighty. Set a disc in stock for the wet grinder. I'm not sure. Team, you wanna see if you can do something for that one? Yes. Alrighty, so we're gonna move this one up, bring it slightly back. You see it's not moving. And then we're gonna check our blade, make sure it's not touching the agate. And then we're gonna shut that and fire it up. And so I'm gonna go wash my hands and then we can start to go through the high bid stuff for you guys.
Fun.
The island agates are always so much fun to cut. They're in my top. Those are my top three agates. The 1970s, The 1970s, the Mozambique, and the island agates. Like those are my big three. Um,
Okay.
so all right, this is the one that I didn't want to cut through that valley. That's awesome. That's a wicked clean agate.
Oh, wow.
What do you guys
That's
think?
fantastic.
Oh, that's killer.
I love those shadow lines, and that's just, yeah,
That's
coloring's great.
trippy. I like that a lot. All right. See, it's fun to just kind of see them and cut them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Lazelle's asking the price. I think she wants to start her collection.
oh gosh. Maybe I'll high bet it off. You never know. You guys have to stay till the end of the
Ooh.
night. That's a cool one. That has nice shadow in that one. It's really fine shadow in the center, which we did call because if you look at the outside of the skin, we did say that was going to have shadow.
Hmm.
So we were spot on with reading that one. Not a lot of color, but that's okay because I can appreciate a good shadow agate. I'd probably take this one and slice it up for cabs, and I'd be using the heck out of that middle area
Yeah.
is what I would do. I hope you guys had so much fun tonight. Cody, thank you so much for teaching. You did a great job on your first session of the cut and chat.
Thank you so much. I loved it. I love to be with
So,
all of you. So what else could I say? I had a great night.
but yeah, we'll be on here tomorrow. We're doing so.
All
Of course,
right.
everybody. Thanks, y'all.